What is going on YouTube? Joe here with Culination Media, and welcome back for another live Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle against a subscriber/follower on Twitter. Today, we are going up against Confuzzler with his beautiful white hair, as you see there. He's looking all experienced and jazz. But anyway, we're going up against Confuzzler here in a UU battle. If you look at my team down in the bottom right-hand corner, which I'll go over in a second, we're only bringing one UU Pokemon, so yeah, I don't know how well we're going to fare here, but that's just how I roll. I like bringing lower-tiered Pokemon. Just, I don't know, for some reason it's just more fun for me that way. And I know you guys like to do the same thing, so we'll see if this team can succeed. Anyway, as we're getting started today, just a friendly little reminder in case you guys haven't done so already and you would care to show your support to the channel and the series and all that fun stuff, you can do so by clicking that like button right below this video. That does help out a lot, and so do your comments, so feel free to leave your thoughts or suggestions or whatever you would like to do down in the comment section. Of course, I always appreciate your support. You guys have been awesome as of late. And yeah, so let's actually dive into the team here. We are bringing our Eviolite Rhydon, which is going to be our Stealth Rock here. It's also packing the Dragon Tail, so we can, you know, phase things and whatnot. Then we have Defensive Avalugg, which is going to be our Rapid Spinner. We also have Recover and a Rocky Helmet, so that's good. Especially Defensive Meganium, also packed with the Dragon Tail. So that gives us another opportunity to phase. I don't know if we're going to need it because it doesn't look like we have a lot of setup Pokemon on my opponent's team here. Then we have Choice Scarf, Magmortar. Then we have Lefty's Pangoro. Yet another Pokemon I have packing a phasing move. I don't know why I have all these phasers on my team. What is this nonsense? And then we have Absol. It's going to be Mega Absol, actually, and that is the lone UU Pokemon we are bringing today against Jolteon, Pikachu, Porygon 2, Swampert, Braviary, and Blissey. So we need to make sure we keep one of our physical attackers around as long as that Blissey is alive. But either way, I would think that Swampert might lead off here for a potential, you know, what is it called? Stealth Rock! I don't know why I couldn't think of that. I just can't do English sometimes, even though it is allegedly my first language. But anyway, Pikachu is starting things off, not Swampert, so the reasoning behind leading off with Absol was to get the Mega Evolution off with Magic Bounce so that we won't have to deal with Stealth Rocks up on our side of the field, but that's not really going to matter. Now, I think we might actually just outspeed Pikachu here. So I kind of just want to go for a knockoff. So we may see a switch because of that very reason. Actually, no, we don't outspeed. Not before the Mega Evolution. We do not, especially because I'm adamant. We'll go for Sucker Punch instead of knockoff. So yeah, I don't know what this thing is going to be running, if it's going to be special, if it's going to be physical. We may see a Fake Out here on turn 1, and then a switch. Yeah, there's the Fake Out. So if I had to guess, wow, that does so much damage. That's definitely Light Ball. Not that that should really surprise anybody. That's typically the only item that Pikachu ever carries. But now we might actually outspeed. So I can probably just go for a knockoff, I guess. Or we could Sucker Punch. The only problem is, if he's going to switch, I would like to punish it. And Sucker Punch does not punish switches very well, because obviously it fails if your opponent does not go for an attacking move. I could predict a switch and go for a Swords Dance, but that is a little bit risky. I think I'm just going to stick with a knockoff here. He is going to withdraw the Pikachu and save that Fake Out for later, which I don't blame him for. He's going to bring in Jolteon. I think this is going to get one-shotted by a knockoff. And yes, so that is a huge threat out of the way. We'll see what item it was holding. A Choice Scarf. Now that is interesting. That seems a little bit redundant to me, just because Jolteon already has base 130 speed. You're going to outspeed almost everything, including some Scarf users. Some of the slower ones, at least. But that will definitely make sure that you outspeed everything, including things that have gotten up like agilities and stuff like that. So I'm not going to question the set, that's for sure. And I use Jolteon all the time. I just don't really particularly care for the Choice Scarf set. I prefer Specs, or you can bluff that with a Magnet, or Wise Glasses even. You can give it a Life Orb. There's a lot of options for Jolteon. Anyway, I'm going to predict a Fake Out here, go out into Avalugg, which is packing the Rocky Helmet. That doesn't do much at all, and in fact, I think we deal more damage to this Pikachu than we took with Avalugg. Now, let's see. Let's see. We could go into Rhydon here, predicting an electric type move. We could also go into Meganium, because this could very easily be mixed Pikachu, because it doesn't really hurt Pikachu at all by using a minus defense or special defense nature, because Pikachu is already so frail. It's such a glass cannon, you know, pretty much anything just one-shots it, especially if it has any prior damage. A lot of times, priority moves can just one-shot it from near full health. So either way, I'm going to switch out Childra, the Avalugg here, and we will go out into Rhydon, predicting an electric-type Volt Tackle. And no, we see Knockoff. Oh, he wanted to get rid of that Rocky Helmet, and that's not good because now our Eviolite is gone. We're not going to be taking hits as well. But if you're carrying the Knockoff, I would expect you to not carry the Grass Knot. I don't think you have special moves. So I think if anything, you're going to want to switch here to try to preserve that Fake Out for later and maybe fire off another Knockoff on something. Maybe he wants to get rid of that Rocky Helmet so that Braviary can come in and start killing some things. Braviary could have a lot of options. That could be Choice Scarf, it could be Choice Banded, it could be Bulk Up, Sub Bulk Up. All of those are scary. Braviary is a huge threat. So out comes the Swampert, and I'm using this opportunity to get up my Stealth Rocks for that Braviary especially. If for nothing else, the Braviary definitely is something I want those rocks up for. I don't want it switching in and out. Whether it's choiced or not, if it's choiced, that's even better, because then, you know, that's when it would be switching in and out even more. But regardless, that extra 25% on it is very useful in my opinion. Either way, with Swampert out here, this thing is usually physical. We could see a Stealth Rock, and that kind of makes me want to go right into Avalugg, especially because I'm not going to take that much from a Waterfall. We can deal out Rocky Helmet damage. We don't take that much from EQ either, and we can always recover off the damage. So in comes Avalugg, and we see Rock Tomb. Was that a prediction? I think it may have been a prediction there. I may have just got predicted. Our speed is going to fall, which does absolutely nothing. And actually, that Rock Tomb really didn't do that much damage either. And we're in a good position because we can just Avalanche here. I can take another one of those very easily. And if you, I mean, what do you want to switch in? Blissey? No, I don't think so. Maybe Porygon too. That would be the only switch in I could possibly see you going into here. Because Braviary, you're obviously not wanting to switch that in on an Ice type. That makes no sense. Pikachu will die to anything. And we already talked about Blissey, whose physical defense is absolute poop, even if you invest in it. So that is a thing. So I'm feeling pretty good here. Pretty good. And that Jolteon is gone too, but I don't think you would want to switch that into an Avalanche anyway. He opts to just stay in and go for the EQ to try to get as much damage as he can. That brings us down to just about half. And we get an Avalanche off. That does a good 35-40%. We can recover here, and he's either going to switch into the Porygon 2, trying to take some hits and possibly recover that off afterwards. I don't think you'd want to leave Swampert in here. This is not a battle you're going to win, because I have recovery and you don't. I'm trying to think what item this would be. He's not Choice Banded because he switched from Rock Tomb to EQ, as he goes for another EQ there. And we haven't seen lefties. So he's not Choice Band, he's not lefties, he's not Mega. I don't know. Assault Vest, maybe. That makes a little bit more sense. We could recover again, but I'm just going to Avalanche. We want to get off as much damage as we can here. And this time, he is going to withdraw. We'll see what he goes into. He is going to go into the Porygon 2. That's what I figured he would want to go into, just because P2 can take hits left and right. He's going to trace our own tempo, which, why am I not running Sturdy? I don't know. I honestly don't know what I was thinking when I bred this. I bred it a long time ago. I obviously gave it the wrong ability. There's no reason to be running own tempo at all. A lot of my Gen 6 Pokemon have the wrong abilities for some reason. Like, I have a Heliolisk that is solar power that I just tend to use a lot. I don't know. Just don't expect me to make sense, ever. So now, what is this thing gonna do? I don't know. If it's gonna be a silly toxic stalling set, that's fine because we have aromatherapy on Meganium. And if it's offensive, that could give us a little bit of trouble. The goal eventually would be to get Absol out here and sacrifice it to knock off the Eviolite. Even though Absol could probably sweep the rest of this team once we weaken it a little bit more. But that is besides the point. I'll go into Meganium here and see what you're going to go for. It's going to be the Tri-Attack. We can take that. That really doesn't do that much damage at all. Wow. Meganium taking that like a boss. And with lefties, that only does a net HP worth of like 28? Something like that. And he's going to go for the Protect here. So Protect, Tri-Attack. You probably have Toxic. You probably have the Toxic. Why else would you have Protect on a Porygon 2? I mean, it's good for scouting for choice items and such. But Meganium, there's really no reason to Protect on that. Maybe just to scout to see if I was going to try to phase him. I don't know. I really don't know. All that did was really just give me extra lefties recovery. And he's going to go for a recover here and get back up to full HP before we phase him out, provided Dragon Tail hits, which it does. So Porygon 2 is going to get out of here, and he didn't really take that much damage at all. Wow, that was a critical hit that did nothing. That did absolutely nothing. Out comes the Pikachu. And this is physically offensive, so Knockoff would do a butt ton of damage and get rid of our lefties. A Giga Drain would probably just kill it, but I don't know that I want to get rid of our lefties. Don't know that I want to do that, because that Porygon 2 is a thing. It's a problem. It is a definite problem, and with Blissey and Porygon 2 alive, and I guarantee you that Porygon 2 has Toxic, so I want to keep Aromatherapy around as long as possible. So I'm not going to mess around here. If he wants to go for knockoff now, that's fine. At least he'll take a little bit more damage. We can recover off any damage he does to us. Oh yeah, Fake Out. That is a thing too. So we don't take any damage from that, really. Was it even 10 HP? Who knows? And more Rocky Helmet damage for this Pikachu, who is just barely above half. Avalanche or EQ would obviously KO it. In fact, Rapid Spin would probably do half of its remaining HP at this point. Incoming is a Volt Tackle, which is Pikachu's most powerful move. That actually did a little bit. And he's going to get hurt by the Rocky Helmet and the Recoil. Man, he's almost just gone from that. But the Avalanche will finish him off, so Pikachu is gone. And so is the Fake Out pressure. And another very powerful, quick, sweeper-ish, well, not a sweeper-ish type Pokemon, but just one of those fast Pokemon that, you know, applies offensive pressure like Jolteon, so those two are gone. That is helpful. We still have to deal with the Blissey, and the Swampert still has an okay amount of HP remaining. Porygon 2 is going to be a problem. I know it. I know it, because I don't have Toxic on my Meganium. I have, well, you saw what the moveset was. I've got Aromatherapy and Giga Drain and Dragon Tail and all that fun stuff. I'm actually missing a move. Synthesis, I think, is my other one. Because recovery is good, especially on a defensive Pokemon. So we'll see. He's taking his time thinking about what he wants to do here. He opts to go into Braviary, which, regardless of whether he's Choiced or Life Orb, Sub, Bulk Up, whatever set he's running, he probably has Superpower. And that is going to, I think, take out Avalugg from this HP range. We'd have to be around half, I think, to have any hope of taking it. And if it's Choice Banded, we probably won't take it anyway. But that will lower his attack and defense. So I'll just go for the Avalanche here. I guess there's a couple of options here. He's either going to take us out with a Superpower and take Rocky Helmet damage and lower his stats, or it's going to just barely not KO us, and then Avalanche will take him out. Or he'll U-turn, which is also possible, but that would just allow me to either get a free hit off or get free recovery, so I don't think he'll do that. I'm expecting a Superpower here. And yeah, there is the Superpower. I think that's going to take us out, honestly. And it does. So it's still kind of impossible to tell what set this Braviary is. We see the Rocky Helmet, no Life Orb. So probably not Bulk Up. I mean, Bulk Up and Superpower kind of just, they kind of contradict each other, so that's probably not it. It's probably choiced in some manner, I just don't know which. And we need to be careful with Absol. We can't just go in thinking we're automatically going to outspeed, because it could very easily be Choice Scarfed. If we can get it to switch out and come back in, Sucker Punch will take it out after it takes Rocks damage again. So we can go out into Magmortar because we are Scarfed. So he'd have to be jolly Scarfed to outspeed us here. And we can just go for a T-Bolt. I guess the worst that could happen is that he's going to switch in Swampert here. And we don't have Avalugg to switch into anymore, but we do have Meganium, which can take just about any hit that Swampert wants to dish out, and it'll be a good time. So he's going to go out into the Porygon 2, actually, which is fine. He'll take a little bit of rocks damage, and he's also going to trace the Vital Spirit, so we cannot put him to sleep. Not that I have anything on my team that can do that anyway. We'll fire off a T-Bolt. That really doesn't do that much damage because it's a Porygon 2. And I switched into Meganium last time. He didn't go for an Ice Beam, but he might not have it because he has Recover, Tri Attack, and Protect. That's what we've seen so far. Can I switch in Rhydon here maybe on a predicted Tri Attack and then get an attack off? Or Dragon Tail you out again? We don't really need Rhydon for anything. That will allow us to get a safe switch into Absol. So I'll take it, especially because we lost our Eviolite already. So I know we could switch this into Braviary, but when it comes back in, it's going to be into range where Sucker Punch will kill it. And if it's choiced, he won't have an option but to go for an attack. So I feel pretty safe here. He's going to go for the Protect. He doesn't have Ice Beam. He might have T-Bolt as his other move. No, it's Toxic. That's what it is. Okay, I forgot that I had predicted earlier, and I kept saying, I guarantee you this has Toxic, and I'm still thinking, oh, what's that other move? It's Toxic. I know it is. And that Tri-Attack didn't do that much. So this has got to be like fully defensive Porygon 2. So we'll go for an EQ. We'll see how much that does. And that does okay damage, but he's going to recover. Porygon 2 is a problem. It's the biggest problem on his team. Really, Absol takes care of a majority. Actually, he can probably sweep the rest of his team if we can get rid of this thing, because I do carry Superpower, which will take out Blissey in one hit, even if it is physically defensive. And there we go. There is the Toxic. I knew it. I knew as soon as you started showing the Protect, you had to have the Toxic, because that's just what people like to run on Porygon 2, is that lovely Toxic stalling set. Can't beat that. Out comes Braviary. Gonna take the 25% due to the rocks, and he can easily take this Rhydon out with the Superpower, and I kind of want to just let him do it. There's really no reason to switch anything else in at this point. I still kind of want to keep Meganium around in case we get some other things toxic, and we want to Aromatherapy that away. I'll go for a Rock Blast here. Because Rock Blast and Dragon Tail both have a chance to miss anyway. So we might as well go for the Rock Blast, which is a sure KO. And, well, I guess it would be anyway, because we do any more damage, he'll die due to the rocks coming back in. But that is besides the point. He overpredicts here and goes for the Brave Bird. I think he was expecting me to switch something else in, and Rock Blast misses. So we're going to get hurt by the Toxic there. I should not have mentioned that it had a chance to miss. Why did I do that to myself? I jinxed it. I always do this. I always jinx myself. I'll go for Dragon Tail this time since it doesn't matter in case he wants to switch, which would be weird because now he's definitely in a range where the Stealth Rocks will KO him coming back in. So we kind of have him in a checkmate position here where we can come in with Absol, and if he wants to stay in and try to attack me, I'm just going to Sucker Punch, and there's really no reason for me not to. I could go into Magmortar here and, you know, do the whole T-Bolt thing again, but what's the point of that? Because the worst thing that happens is I go in with Absol, I go for the Sucker Punch, and he switches, which would just be the end of this Braviary anyway, because then as soon as it comes back in, it would be dead due to the Stealth Rocks. I could go for Swords Dance and be cheeky about it, but if he stays in and attacks, then that pretty much ruins our sweep. But at this point, even though he has 4 Pokemon left, 3 after this Braviary is gone, I still feel pretty confident that Absol can finish a sweep right here. He can clean up, because that is defensive Porygon 2. It cannot Toxic this Absol. He can go for Tri-Attack. He would have to get a burn, really, for him to deter the sweep. And in the process, I'm going to knock off his Eviolite, and it'll just be a good time. And if he does get a burn or freeze or any kind of status, really, I can go into Meganium, who I kept alive up to this point, Aromatherapy that away, and Blissey's not going to want to take a superpower from this. So we're in a great position here. He is going to trace the Magic Bounce, so we need to remember that. But, and actually, I'm not positive that a superpower would kill from here. If that is physically defensive Porygon 2, I'm not that confident. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go for a knockoff. That's the safe play. And that may have killed. It may have killed from there. Anyway, no, it definitely would have killed. Definitely would have. So that was probably the play I should have made. But Tri-Attack's not going to take us out because it's defensive Porygon 2. And yeah, leaves us with 20 HP remaining. We can go for a knockoff again. There's no reason not to. If he switches anything else in, it's going to take a butt ton of damage. And if he stays in with Porygon 2, it's gone. So that will be a huge thing for us to get rid of this thing. And then there's really nothing stopping us, because that Swampert is Assault Vest, meaning it likely has attack investment and not physical defense investment. And he's at just over half of his HP remaining. He is going to go into the Swampert here and test his luck to see if he can survive a knockoff. He's at just about 50%. And like I said, he likely has attack investment. Even if he has that HP investment, we're going to get the boost from the knockoff here because he still is holding on to his item, which I'm predicting to be an Assault Vest. We'll find out here. But that seems the most likely to me, and Swampert's just going to go down to that. The HP bar went down really fast, and it was indeed an Assault Vest. So there we go, no surprise there. And now he's going to go into his Blissey. And is this his last Pokemon, or does he have one more after this? Nope, this is his last one, and we can very easily just go for a superpower here, and that should take out this Blissey regardless of its investment, because what is Blissey's base defense? Is it 10? I know Chansey has base 5. I'm not joking. I wish I was exaggerating, but it is base 5. So Blissey, I'm guessing it's like base 10 or something. It's morbidly low. Morbidly low. So yeah, taking his time thinking about what he's going to do here, but I don't think there's anything that he can do. I think Blissey just is going to fall to the ground, and anytime you see Blissey taking out one hit, it is a good day. It is a really good day. And the fact that Blissey did not affect this match at all is, I don't know, feels good. It feels really, really good. For all I know, that could have been offensive Blissey, and he could have been a really cool guy about it, but who knows? Does not matter. That is going to be a victory for us. What was it, a 3-0 or a 4-0? I don't know. I don't really care about the score. It was a fun match nonetheless. So I hope you enjoyed the match. Confuzzler, hope you had some fun. Hope you guys enjoyed the match as well. If you did, please make sure you're leaving a like, rating, or a comment, or whatever you would like to do. And I will see you all next time. But until then, game on.